Now, an entire kingdom of gifted spiritually, not thinking as the natural man, not of a mindset that there are no spiritual gifts, and people that possess spiritual gifts put you in a category of not human. So the unction, the unction, the unction. And the unction told me, say that, speak into the camera, and I am. Now, rest, relaxation, honeymoon, reconciliation, still your priority. Mary, come here with drinks. The reason why we celebrate a prodigal, tobacco, because it's an offering. Now, your obedience in your household, and it was decided there had to be a spiritual leader. From the beginning of creation, it was known it would need to be the husband. So, what you are doing right now, remember, is something that's going to make more and more sense as these next 59 days dwindle down, and each day things get easier. Seeing clearer becomes less of a struggle. Waking up with clarity, peace, and a sound mind becomes expected. And most of all, your expectancy first is that I will meet you in your secret place. If you are available, you are already blessed because you're not in a position where you're in the middle of doing something and then you feel the unction. When that occurs, it's an indication of you're doing something that's not going to equal your happiness. When you have two, and one is going slowly and ensuring that the heart is postured in obedience, while the other flippantly continues to not comprehend, then you have unequally yoked. So, to your point, Mary, the face-to-face ministry was a great time. It was amazing, but it required a lot of prayer time that people don't have the attention span to value, so they will not do it. You're still in a frame of mind believing people think as you do. They do not. It required the unction to take that first step into the secret place and then hear from me. And then from there, the availability, meaning not going to a workplace or being entangled in a devilish snare because a people-pleasing act eased your tensions between you and another, and the obligation was to man, not God. And then from there, waiting, Many times you would be staring at the sheep and you would see them communicating with someone else. You would understand more than likely. But I've been doing this since 2012. I'm not rambling. I am also teaching, prophesying properly. The devil would be speaking to that sheep. There aren't any sheep outside that will be saved. So focusing the will of God through another testifies my return. The Lord is without blame, and his name is Michael Brian Thomas. The indications of being able to hear your preconceived notions as you go in a direction that is insurrection filled misery. It is me going where only he is. So what we're doing first, okay, you need to resist the enemy. In your marriages, definitely. So being able to hear me is your first problem. So prodigals, you will not be receiving the unction. You won't have that until you actually are face to face with your kingdom spouse. As we have understood since the beginning of time, the enemy would always attempt to infiltrate whatever God's people were doing. So like a tribe that keeps to itself, self-sufficient and loving each other, then the enemy sees them encamped somewhere. We'll just marry the enemy and then do it up front. So that part of your destiny that you chose for yourself, prodigal, you have carried out. Now it's time for you to be in your rehab. He says, now that's it, press stop.